Thank you, Father John. Our next speaker is Michael Dunnigan. Michael is an attorney practicing in two distinct legal systems, the Anglo-American system of common law and the Catholic Church's legal system known as canon law. He holds graduate degrees in law, canon law, and theology, and he is admitted to practice law in Texas and Arizona. Mr. Dunnigan will be speaking about the federal government mandate in the Affordable Health Care Law, its impact on religious institutions, and its damaging impact on our society. Please welcome Michael Dunnigan.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this very spot in front of our cathedral 6 months ago, the people of San Antonio held a freedom rally like this one. That day, one speaker was a local priest named George Montague. Father Montague is a kindly 82-year-old gentleman, and he took his listeners by surprise with the force of his words, especially when he came to his verdict on the HHS rule. What did he call it? This godless mandate. This godless mandate. Now, some of our fellow citizens will ask, why such force, such energy, even such anger? Our fellow citizens might say to those of us who are Catholic, it's true that the HHS mandate forces employers to provide contraception, sterilization, and abortion-inducing drugs. But a Catholic parish is free from this rule. Isn't that enough for you? As long as a Catholic parish is exempt, is it really so important also to exempt the Catholic University, the Catholic Hospital, the Soup Kitchen, and the Crisis Pregnancy Center? Why can't you just go along? Well, let me give you my answer. It all comes down to what religion really is. And what's wrong with the HHS mandate is the cramped and withered idea of religion that lurks behind it. As long as the church is serving only its own members, as long as Catholics are teaching and ministering only to other Catholics, or evangelicals only to other evangelicals, as long as the church doors are closed, only then does the president recognize the church's right to religious freedom. The church is free only insofar as she is turned inward. But once let the church open her doors to the outside world, let the church just try to bring the gospel to the outside world, and she gives up her freedom. Let the church open her door to help the sick. Let her open her door to help the poor. Let her open it to the uneducated or the exploited. Let her open her door even a crack. And what does the president do? He slams that door shut. He locks it and he bolts it. And then what does he do? He crouches down. He squints his eye and he peers through the keyhole of that church door. And what does he see as he's crouching down and peering through the church keyhole? He grins. He grins because he sees that he has religion exactly where he wants it. Confined to the church, constrained in its action, and concealed from view. The president has put religion itself under house arrest. Let us not fool ourselves into thinking that the HHS mandate is an accident, or that it is only a single isolated blow to our freedom. In fact, the mandate is part and parcel of the way that the president looks at religion. When the president talks about religious rights, he speaks of freedom of worship and not freedom of religion. What's the difference? Well, freedom of worship is essential, of course, but the right to freedom of religion includes more than the right of worship. In addition to worship, freedom of religion includes the right to teach, to evangelize, to do charity work. and to go out to the world for countless other purposes that find their inspiration in religion. Someone once asked Mother Teresa what the one thing was that she wanted the world to know about her community of sisters. Here's what she said: "You must tell people what brings us here." And remember, for Mother Teresa, here meant the slums of Calcutta. Tell people what brings us here. Tell them we are not here for the work. We are here for Jesus. All we do is for Him. We are not social workers, she said. We are not teachers, not nurses, not doctors. We are religious sisters. For the president, however, what Mother Teresa did is not religion. Religion for him and for his HHS secretary means only the dealings of Catholics with other Catholics or Jews with other Jews. Worship and prayer in the home or the church count as religion for the president, but feeding the hungry and tending to the sick do not, even when they are done under a clear religious impulse. What does this mean? What it means is that we are well down the road to making religion a completely private matter. The clear message from people who share the president's view is that religion is okay in your private life, but you'd better not bring it into the public square. This is an assault not only on the church, not only on all churches, but on the human spirit itself. What it means to be a human person is to be both an individual and a part of society, a member of the community. I had thought that a president who was a community organizer might appreciate this fact. Even if he does not, though, this fact was not lost on the ancient Greeks. For them, a solitary man was not even a man. A solitary man, the ancient Greeks said, might be a god or he might be a beast, but he's no man. This is what the president and his HHS secretary refused to see, that religion by its nature is social, and that religious people have every right to take their place in civil society. A Christian soup kitchen is every bit as Christian as a Christian church is. Common sense sees the religious impulse in the Catholic orphanage and the evangelical school, but President Obama will see none of it. If he cannot see it by crouching down and peering into the narrow keyhole of the church door, then the president does not see it as religion. And so, he thinks he can force the Catholic orphanage to violate its religious mission, force it to provide contraception, sterilization, and abortion-inducing drugs. What is the result of a view of religion like the one the president has? You already have begun to see it. Religion is driven from the public square. If Catholic groups wish to take part in federal programs to help victims of human trafficking, the president now demands that they provide referrals for abortion and contraception. Some cities have barred the Catholic Church from providing adoption services. Why? Because she will not place children in the homes of unmarried or same-sex couples. And now the president is coercing evangelical colleges and Catholic hospitals to contradict the moral law by providing abortion-inducing drugs to their employees. This is a hollowed-out vision of religion, and it goes hand in hand with a twisted and deformed view of the human person. The president tells you that you can have your religion at home and in church, but you dare not bring it with you into the public square. This idea fractures and fragments the human soul, forcing a person to live a lie by confining his religion to private life and coercing him to keep silent about or even to deny his faith in public. Shortly before his 2008 election victory, Mr. Obama said that he was just days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America. What did he mean? What did he want to do to us and to our country? And how does the HHS mandate fundamentally transform us? Look closely, my fellow citizens. The president is trying to remake us in his own image. A moment ago, I described the president as crouching down and peering into the church keyhole to keep religion in its place. And now, is he doing anything less with his HHS mandate than trying to reshape us in his own image by forcing each one of us to crouch down? Crouch down for what? Crouch down to lick the hand of government. Crouch down because we've let the president confuse the government with our civil society. We're on our way to allowing government to occupy the whole social space, the whole public square. Religious people and their charities once participated fully and freely in civil society. But now the president is telling us that the government will decide for us who may take part in public life and who may not. In the place of vibrant and creative religious charities, the government now will decide who may offer social services to the poor, the exploited, and the uneducated, and who may not offer those services. If religious people want a place in public life, the president would have them crouch down, beg permission, and pay the admission price of repudiating their own religious and moral beliefs. Is this what we are to become? Are we to become no longer a nation of free men and women, standing upright and raising our eyes, but instead a nation of isolated, crouching wretches, taking part in public life no longer as a God-given right, but now only as a concession of the government? Alexander the Great said that many ancient peoples lost their freedom because they had forgotten how to say the word no. And Winston Churchill told his people, "Let no one say that of us. Let no one say that we have forgotten how to pronounce the word no." So what are we to do? When this issue first came up last year, what many Catholics were seeking was a broader exemption from the mandate to cover not only the parish, but also the Catholic college, hospital, and charity. But we've learned something throughout this year, and now we have come to see that the remedy of a broad exemption is not enough, because the issue is not only about Catholic charities, it is also about Catholic individuals and Catholic businesses, and it is equally about non-Catholic individuals and non-Catholic businesses and non-Catholic charities. This issue concerns all Americans, and for an unjust law like this one, the remedy is not merely to exempt some of the people from it. It is no solution to make the escape hatch from the HHS mandate just a little bit wider. No, there must be a remedy both for us and for all of our fellow citizens. And so there is only one remedy: repeal. Repeal. Let us fling the church doors open once more. Let us bring religion back to the public square, and let us repeal this godless mandate.